Yeah, I just threw up the link to it if you're there.
You just threw up? Are you okay?
Well, I threw it at you.
All right.
It was
I thought I'd give you guys a little bit of that background so you can see Kratos just eyeing you down a little bit as we do this. So yeah, I'm gonna turn down the music just a wee bit.
So when I saw the name Sharp, I thought like right away this is gonna be the patch where they come out with the spear. I think, anyways, like I don't know, it just
sounds like it.
Made me think of it right away, like the.
Matt, can you talk for me? I'm just gonna adjust your volume a little bit for this. Just tell me, speak monologues.
What's up, buddy? How you doing? Test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Keep going. I haven't even gotten to 10 yet.
Tell us the story of your life.
Let's read about Eli. Eli exhaled a long, deep breath and centered himself. This is what you do for.
All right, and that's all, folks.
Cute Asher. She's 24, and she's only 3 miles away from Eli. Super stoked.
Oh.
All right. Are you guys ready?
Doing tonight?
Do you guys have the patch notes open as well?
I've got them open, yeah.
Okay, cool. We're going over the sharpen your skills progression. So that's the one with like the pretty pictures and stuff. Oh shit, I'm like totally giving shit away. We're not even there yet, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, so we have sharpen your skills progression. What defines the legend of a slayer? What separates the vanguard of Ramsgate from the average adventurer? Every time that you embark upon a hunt, you should feel like you're taking a step forward toward building your lasting legacy. This is your story. Built one behemoth, one adventure, one piece of gear at a time. We've been listening to your feedback, blah, blah, blah. Let's get into it. New Horizons. A Slayer's is forged day to day, moment to moment. There's no predicting what new threat may come calling, and the champions of Ramsgate wouldn't have it any other way. With the Sharpen Your Skills update, we're working to better capture the thrill and excitement of being a Slayer in the way that you explore the Shattered Isles and hunt behemoths. Progressing forward in Dauntless currently consists of fighting one behemoth after another, advancing through a linear questline. While it can be satisfying to work your way upward through the humble beginnings, we're excited to introduce a new system that will make every fight rewarding and exciting to join. We will be introducing a new progression system with the Sharpen Your Skills update. Slayers will now initially embark on patrols where they find targets of opportunity. For example, the first region that Slayers have access to is host to Nashor, Embermane, Drask, Charog, and Shrike. When Slayers patrol this region, they may encounter any of these behemoths chosen at random. Alright, let's talk about it.
Okay, wait. Just as you were reading that, something popped out at me that I didn't notice the first time.
What was it?
They just said the first region that you're going to be going into is going to have access to Nashor, Embermane, Drask, Charog, and Shrike.
Yes. So this means, from the way I'm taking that, is that we're going to be going into like a patrol area. Think of it, I don't want to think of it as Destiny 2 patrol, but it's going to be like a bigger map, and we'll be able to encounter all the behemoths if we wanted to. That's what I think.
Yeah,
that's like how you'd want to idealize it, but honestly, we've already seen the way they handle this. I think with the far reach maps and the resource rich nodes where they already randomize the hunt.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be closer to that.
Be closer to that. This have access
that's
to.
What I was thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that is probably what it is.
Yeah. But did you notice that, like, the first region?
Yeah, I know it is. It 100% is. Yeah,
it's
no
not
rogues.
Rogue Nashors. It's not going to be Rogue Embermane or anything. So they're just straight up changing. Like, there's no more Rogue behemoths, I guess.
Well, I think
what that means?
No, I think the rogues are just going to be reserved for the tutorial, more than likely.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because they're revamping the tutorial even more, right? So
I hope they have a tutorial. Like, I hope they implement a tutorial where you actually get a Rogue Shrike in there and they like coach you on how to interrupt. And like, on the boops, right?
Seconds every,
because tons of people just have they go into the fights and they just have absolutely no idea that you can even do that, right?
Do they say somewhere? Oh, sorry. I guess we don't want to jump ahead, but about the tutorial.
Let's not jump ahead too much.
This patch, right?
They were talking about updating it some more too, right?
Yeah, so I think that's the. I guess yeah, it'll be more like the fields, but that's gonna be. Oh, okay. Let's read on because I think they talk about that a little bit more. Loot tables and crafting requirements are also being worked to complement these changes. Gear made from behemoths in the same region will now share several ingredients which are found across those same behemoths. This means that you can get most of what you need to craft or improve gear across a wider selection of behemoths. So I'm not sure if they're going to talk about it a little later, but I remember them saying that once you call a shot. Once you find that one behemoth, you'll be able to single out a hunt for that behemoth.
Yeah.
I think I read that. I'm pretty sure I read that. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm jumping it, but if I am, I just want to because it has to do with that anyway.
But it's under the call the shot section. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay.
For a little bit, I was thinking okay, it's just gonna be like 1 or 2 patrol missions, and then you'll have all the behemoths unlocked. But the more that I'm thinking about it, it's probably not going to be like that because, the armor sets that we're going to be making now aren't actually going to require specific part breaks for, I guess, the majority of the upgrades, or maybe just like the first couple upgrades, or something like that.
I think it's still pretty heavy with break parts.
They're not real clear. So
gear made from behemoths in the same region will now share several ingredients which are found across those same behemoths.
Yeah, but in the next paragraph it says weapons and armor will still require items which are unique to certain creatures.
Yeah, and it also talks about how break parts are even more of a somewhere in this, I can't remember because I already read this over before we did this, but yeah, okay, so let's get into it.
Okay.
Slayers.
Yeah, but it's interesting though that we're actually going to be able to get some of the parts that we need from every behemoth.
I don't know if it's going to be like that though. I think it might be like so? I'm not sure because I think it might just mean biome resources that they're talking about. You'll be able to get the same resources from each thing or from that one area.
Oh, so found across those same behemoths though. It's curious their wording, right?
Yeah,
it could be taken either way.
What if they're taking the generic sets? Like they have a generic set at every tier, right? You have Sentinel, Defender. What was that other one called? Knight or whatever.
That's only weapon set though. There's not an actual. There's Scout, Defender, and Sentinel.
So what if they're taking those and they're making those like the generic sets you make from each behemoth, like that share materials across all the behemoths in the tier?
And then you upgrade those into. Fuck. No, I don't want to be making 6 Sentinel sets.
I think that you actually have to make the sets for the other behemoths as well, but those are the ones that require specific parts. That's a possibility.
Oh, that
the
would
Sentinel,
make sense, right?
The Sentinel would take parts from each behemoth.
Right, but then Embermain would still have
his own. Okay, I could see that.
So to prepare yourself for the patrol missions, you would just go out and harvest all the stuff for the Sentinel armor or whatever, and then you could eventually get to the point where you can start crafting specific behemoth parts.
I don't know. I doubt they're gonna keep those generic armors so locked into ore only. You know.
Yeah.
I bet that they're gonna make them. Ones that are shared, the shared sets. You have to kill the behemoths to get the parts, but it doesn't matter which one you find. You can always upgrade your
for sure.
Set. That's an idea. I mean, who knows? But that would make sense, right? They would reuse the assets and information they already have.
Yeah, well, who knows, man? They've changed their lore on us before.
This update's gonna be total flip-flop, I think, man.
Yeah.
Alright, call the shot. It's important that new patrol system does not preclude Slayers from targeting specific behemoths. Weapons and armor will still require items which are unique to certain creatures, so stalking specific behemoths is still a big part of progression. Slayers will also gain intel about the locations, specific behemoths, as they complete patrol hunts. Once the Slayer has enough information, they can embark on a hunt after a specific creature of their choosing. Oh, okay. So that's what I was talking about before. So after we do those little bit of patrol hunts, we'll be able to clue if we want to max Embermain, we'll be able to find Embermain, right?
Yeah, but it depends on how RNG that is. If you're just completing the patrols unlocks all of them, and it doesn't matter which behemoth you find.
Well, it looks like
that'll probably be okay. But if it's if you spend an entire night trying to get Embermane to pop. Heydeath actually had a good point on this earlier. You're gonna have people who are gonna they're gonna log in, see the behemoth, it's Charog. Okay, they log out.
Yeah.
They log back in. They see the behemoth,
Here-
Asher. They log out.
Okay,
Here's
but
like I think a solution to that. That if they went in this direction, it would totally like resolve that situation. If you collect where like the information on where this behemoth is going to be, then that's going to be excluded from your patrol missions now. So if you've already got like the information on where Charog is going to be, then you just like the patrol missions will exclude him from now on, and you'll just have the ones that you haven't gained information on yet.
But that would
Like-
render a lot of the patrol missions as like useless now.
I think
No?
I
You
think
think
what
so?
they're doing with that is they're gonna make it. I think there might be some other way to detect the other behemoths in the map, whether it be like tracks on the ground or something. Because it says Slayers will also gain intel about the locations of specific behemoths. So it's not like it doesn't seem like they'll be able like once you kill it, then you'll be able to. It looks like you might have to find intel, whether it be through a quest or something.
Yeah.
So that could be a
Or
thing too.
foliage or
Yeah,
just
it might be.
landscape in
Yeah,
general.
exactly. It
Yeah.
could be like find. I don't know. Maybe they had a footprint. That would be cool. Like if you found like an Embermane footprint or
Oh
something.
yeah, that would be or like
So awesome.
scratches on trees.
Yeah,
or,
something like that. I'm like,
uh,
oh, like they'll like you like commune with it or whatever,
oh,
and
that's
you figure
the
out
sign of or like the claw mark.
exactly,
of
and
a
you
hellbear.
investigate it, and maybe you whip out your like pre-age
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
pre-age
whoa, whoa, whoa.
camera. You whip out your pre-age camera and you take a picture of it. I don't know how we got those, but we got rocket hammers, so we can figure
Yeah.
it out.
I think learning about the flora and the ore would also help because like okay, so you have on
Mhm, mhm.
Trepid or arid maps, you've got a different kind of flux, right? So the more you farm the arid map flux and stuff like that, it also gives you information on that.
Yeah,
region.
I hope that they specify that sort of stuff to particular behemoths, so that like if you go to get like Charog or whatever,
You
the
don't need
types
frigid
of, like,
flux.
well, like the types of gatherable materials are like maybe if not specific to him, or there might be like one item that only will be found on a Charog map or something like that, and then like it's like a gatherable material, like I don't know, Charog's favorite snack flower
Yeah,
that he likes to eat. I
yeah,
don't know
yeah. No, I'd
what
feel
it could
that.
be, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like that could be one way that they
like Charog bait.
gather. Yeah,
But then
yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like that's kind of like I haven't played Monster Hunter at all, so it kind of sounds like that's from what I've seen from Monster Hunter. That sounds like a Monster Hunter mechanic a little bit. I don't know if they would be willing to take that. I don't really see that big of a problem. I mean, like it's a pretty
Well,
common thing.
but I mean more like things that you would like be able to know, like look at an island and say, okay, that island.
Oh, is
I
where
know is gonna
where
be where
Charog
Charog
is.
is.
Oh, okay, yeah, I
You
see
know what I
you.
mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, I see what you're
because
saying.
in the end, we're just flying around a bunch of islands, and they
Yeah,
all look pretty much the same.
exactly.
I don't know how gathering information about them will
Yeah,
help
I'm
us
hoping they
decide
do
which one
something
to
like
go.
that, like footprints or like some kind of foliage
Yeah,
that
that
you
would
can
be really
tell
cool.
that you could tell like what's going like
Or
maybe something
dude,
different,
they
right?
left like a little turd, and you're like, oh, that's a Charog turd.
Oh, that's a
Yeah, you like-
Charog turd.
Put it in your bag. It's part of the crafting.
Yeah,
materials
just for
you need.
Charog dung.
Oh my crap, dude. Yo,
Charog dung.
Make a potion.
Charog potion.
Yeah, Charog is less aggressive if you cover yourself.
The
in
only
Charog.
way you'll know the information on where to find him is if you drink this Charog potion. Oh my god.
All right, you guys ready for the next one?
Yeah,
Fill her
and
up.
I want to say one thing.
Yeah.
The lore aspect behind the patrols, I
Mhm.
really like. I think that works really well. With the
Yeah.
whole lore.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
we're fresh slayers just getting into the city, and they're sending us out in like patrol groups.
Yeah, I feel like it's better.
Just-
It's
just
giving
like
like
the
some
North
kind
stuff.
of like
Yeah.
I guess density to like what these like hunts are, right? Because right now it's just kind of like going to hunt, and then
Yeah.
even the title patrol makes it sound like a little bit more.
Yeah, you're like
You're
doing
like part of the
police stuff.
community. You're like kind of part of the
Yeah.
community, you know? Like when you're
It's not
going on
like,
hunts.
Oh, hey, we found this cool behemoth. Go kill it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like patrols will be like a cool way of like kind of getting into the whole hunting and everything like that. All right, so we got Filler Up, and now this is their new take on Aether cores. I read this and I wasn't really too sure what about it. Okay, it says our goal is that every Slayer is eager and excited to what's inside their Aether cores. Big changes are coming to Aether cores to make them more exciting and rewarding. Currently, cores are rewarded at the end. Okay, we know what they currently are. Suppose they're hunt after the cracked. Okay, Aether cores will now have a new exciting purpose that will better reward long-term play. They must be filled over the course of multiple hunts before they can be opened, resulting in an explosion of special items. We'll have more details on what these cores may contain and how they work, so stay tuned. I feel like we could get into a really long conversation about what the heck these things are going to be about, just how vague this description is.
On the fact that they
know.
show 3 different ones makes it look like maybe you can equip different Aether cores for different things.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, or
Yeah.
maybe these are like just the tiers. Like
It
the
could be the
first
tiers.
one is
It
like
could be
from
the
tier 1
tiers.
Ether core.
Yeah.
They said they were gonna get rid of loot boxes, right? This
Yeah,
sounds
this
like
is
just like a big loot box.
well, no. This is Aether cores. Like, you know what you get from after you get a hunt, like those.
Yeah.
So it's not like the chroma cores, right? This is just kind of they're getting rid of the chroma core aspect of loot boxes.
Yeah. Oh well, that's good.
Yeah,
But I mean, like even these regular Ether cores though are like loot boxes themselves, even though they're like because they're all
but
RNG.
it's like an RNG, but that's kind of like it's like that's just your classic grind MMO type
Yeah,
RNG,
that's
right?
the same as grinding
not so
a heart.
It's not
that's
like
the same as grinding a hard
yeah.
route.
If you're paying, you shouldn't be forced to go through RNG. It shouldn't be a gamble when you're paying, I guess. But if it's just free to play, you're slaying the monster and
But like
farming them, then RNG is fine.
yeah,
I
at this
guess.
point it's like RNG, like getting your Shroud Avarice. Some people have shit luck, hashtag scaryberry, or some people get them all the time. It's stuff like that, right? Like I feel like that aspect's totally fine. It's just like the cosmetic stuff. I totally agree with being able to see what you want and buying what you want, you know? Like rather than getting this crap ton of garbage that you fucking could care less about, right?
It's interesting though, like to think like how they could possibly, because I didn't have a problem with the way the Ether cores were before, really.
The chroma cores,
Not
or
too
like
much
the way
anyways.
Ether. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
me too. This
Right?
is why this is like kind of catching me off guard. I don't know how I feel about how this reward long term play. Like I have to do what 4 hunts in order to get like.
Yeah, but like, is this gonna be like way more than what we got from 4 hunts before?
Exactly,
Like,
and is it gonna be like
more specialized, more like specifically honed in, less RNG, like
actually
guaranteed something you definitely want.
So maybe take this in. What if they kind of take away the whole Shroud Avarice and stuff like that, and they make these cores give you like tier specific rewards, so that the only thing that you're gonna be farming off of the behemoths are break parts.
Tier specific reward?
Because think about
it.
it.
Like emotes or
No. Tier specific rewards like whatever's like tier specific. So like I don't know chromium ore, but like in a behemoth kind of way, if you know what I mean. Because like
so like a trace, but a trace that's general to all.
For like a tier 2 trace kind of thing. Because like think about it. It says exciting purpose that will be better reward over long-term play. Like are you going to be fighting like are they trying to say that you're going to be doing a strike like 5 times in a row? What if you do like 2 strikes and Nasher, right?
Yeah.
So they're not going to give you just strike gear. They'll probably give you something that's general to that tier.
It'll be like tier 1 like Avarice.
That's what I'm thinking maybe. But like other than that,
that
there's really nothing we can kind of expand on that because it's just so vague right now.
They do say it's like supposed to be like exciting rewards.
Well,
like,
okay,
have a new exciting purpose.
That might just be like
what
word.
They also added explosion of special items, so like you can tell they're really trying to push this They probably got like one guy. They're like, look, man, we need another Aether core system. Can you get something? And then like it came to the day, like, yo, we're like releasing like the patch notes. Like, do you have anything for the Aether core system? He's like, it's gonna be exciting and explosive. Yeah, and they're like, oh, perfect. Perfect. Thanks, bud. We'll just put that in the notes.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I do like the designs that they have though. For, like different ones. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, we do need to circle back on Skarn, the
Uh,
images and stuff. Talk about him a
Oh
little
fuck
bit.
yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's talk about this real quick.
but that's right. Yeah. Actually, like, I'll just be right back while you guys like start the talk on that. One second.
Okay. Skarn. What do you think of these two pictures? I personally don't really know what's going on. If the second picture is his enraged form, or if
It
it's
has to
just
be,
an
right?
alpha behemoth. Because if you look at his, okay, a little spoiler, I guess. If you scroll down a bit, and you can see the Skarn armor, and it has the rocks on it, so it makes me think that yeah, it would have to be enraged form.
Yeah, because I mean, you look at the Skarn armor too. He also has his normal skin color.
Exactly. So I am thoroughly excited for this behemoth. I hope that he's gonna be I hope that he's gonna be in tier 3 or beyond.
Yeah,
Um I just I've had enough of Rezakiri and Shroud, to be honest.
yeah. Yep.
But this
About
guy
time to
looks
get past
cool.
him.
This guy looks cool. He looks like he's
So
gonna have a lot of like monolith type attacks.
he's got a short tail, right?
Hmm.
So he's not gonna be like whipping you with this tail constantly either.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna fight more like a pit bull, like more like a dog. I think he's
Yeah.
gonna be more like a dog style behemoth. Like look at his whole body structure and everything. He's just like a pit bull.
Yeah, he looks like a fucking rhino, you know? Looks like he's just gonna ram you, like constantly be charging, maybe
Yeah, but he's
doing.
missing the horn.
But he's got a pretty armored face, you know what I mean? That face would fuck something
Yeah.
up.
He's definitely gonna burrow though.
Oh,
Like he's got
yeah, yeah. You know, it'd be cool to see a burrow, like even if he was like half burrowed and he just had like his mountain back sticking out, and he would just like skate across the almost like the
like a shimmer.
Zaga, almost like the Zaga like slide into your DM's attack,
Oh yeah.
but with that.
Ooh, what if you could boop that? Like how would it boop? Well, what would he do if
I
you
have
booped
no
him like
idea.
that? Like he's got the rock sticking out and you can
Yeah.
hit it.
Hey
Yeah.
guys, sorry about that.
He will make earthquakes. That's a pretty good.
Yeah,
good
earthquake. Yes, Geekster. Earthquakes.
constellation.
Yeah, for sure. Like a stomp and then kind of have a tremor.
Mm,
Maybe not even
Yeah.
something that would do damage, but like knock you down, so that would open up for another attack.
In that case, they're probably gonna do it similar to how Charog does his fire ring.
Yeah, but I'm
Like
thinking
I
like
imagine it's gonna come out, but it'll be a shockwave instead of fire,
you,
right?
you see what I'm saying? Like instead of like having a shockwave that does damage, have a shockwave that like knocks you down, and then he can like follow up with like a charge attack.
Oh my gosh.
That would be cool.
I mean, that's got to be an attack that hits from any direction, right?
Hmm.
Because if he knocks you down,
Oh.
you're behind him, and he does that attack.
Imagine it's like a shockwave that you have to jump over. Like
Yeah, that would be
like,
cool. Like something like
flies at you and
that.
you have to jump. That'd be really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't have anything that we can jump over, right? There's no attacks like other than like the
Well-
rocket jump over Rezakiri's bombs, which is like iffy. But yeah, we don't really have a there's no purpose to really jump in any
Yeah,
fight.
yeah.
like he's gonna be fast. He's gonna be fast, and he's gonna move a lot.
You think
Yeah.
he's gonna be fast? He's
Yeah, like
he
look
looks
at how
interesting.
he's built. He's built all hunched forward, with a ton of power in the front legs, right?
He looks like he's
He's
ready to
he's
fuck.
like a pit bull, dude. He's gonna be like
Yeah.
super vicious and fast. I think.
It's interesting looking, right? Anyways, we can only, I guess, say so much. But
Yeah.
do you think that he's gonna be as difficult as like Rezakiri and like Shroud level, or do you think it's just gonna be like an addition that like there might be a Shroud or Rezakiri level variant?
That's what we're
that's
talking
like,
about. I was hoping that he'd be like a tier 3 or above behemoth. Just
Yeah, me
because I'm
too.
super sick of Shroud and Rezakiri, to be honest. I need something new to like work towards.
Right?
Yeah, but new progression system, right? Maybe we won't get to him for another month because we're stuck grinding the progression wheel.
Yeah.
Mm,
We'll see.
well,
We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. All right.
Um,
Let's scroll her down to idle hands. All right. Well, even Aether Smith doesn't completely understand where behemoths come from. We do not know that they won't stop coming anytime soon. And while any slayer would be happy to see their home permanently safe and sound, there's nothing a warrior abhors more than boredom. That's why we'll be rounding our progression and sharpening your skills with the addition of daily, weekly, and other scheduled hunts. These are special hunts and tasks that will keep you hunting between quests and well after you've completed the goals you've set your sights on. That is super exciting for me.
Yeah,
For us,
it's got like
especially.
one more line. Like in the
On the
coming
bottom.
weeks, we'll
Okay.
have more details about the nature of these hunts and the rewards that you will receive for completing them.
These
Yeah.
I'm really excited for these hunts because these are going to be like those weeklies in dailies that we're going to see in this game.
You know what I'm like thinking? It's gonna be some sort of cancer, man. It's gonna be hard. I hope anyways. I think that it's gonna be like, you know how they have on the Trello page, like if you go to the Trello page, like an image of Charog that's like purple, and they're like, we're gonna make more variants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that dude, like they're gonna have some sort of
like dual elemental
monsters. Yeah, that only appear like once a week or whatever, and you have to try it.
That'd be cool. And like you get like it would be cool if they had like gear for those monsters and that you'd be able to like you'd only be able to farm them during those times, maybe. That might be like time gating it might be kind of shitty, but I feel like
that is time gate. That's exactly what Matt was saying. He
that
does.
is time.
I'll quit the game.
Yeah.
I'll quit the game. I've done the gear. I've done the time gating. Yeah, I hate it. I've done it with Guild Wars 2. I've done it with Final Fantasy.
Yeah, it is
like,
bad.
Any time gating,
Destiny,
I'm done. I'm done.
I've never played a game that has time gating before, so I
Destiny
really
does it.
It's horrible.
It sucks. It does suck. That was a bad idea. I don't know why I suggested it.
Well, no, like if they time gate, I'm done. I'll leave the game.
Okay, but let's
I won't even like think twice about it.
Let's talk about this armor.
But okay. So, but what is the limit of like, and what makes the content like so important? Like, because they've already admitted they're gonna do dailies, and week, and you're probably gonna get some kind of content from those. So, like, what is your limit, Matt, on like what would be like, I'm leaving the game, and what are you okay with them doing? Like
anything that blocks progression behind a time wall.
Okay, yeah, progression.
If they force me to log in every day just to keep up with everyone else's armor and gear, I'm done. Like I'm not gonna do that. Maybe I want to play on the weekend and not play during the day.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
That's fair.
I don't want to be punished for me having a different schedule than they want me to have. Like that's just heavy-handed from them, and I don't like that.
What I think the daily and weekly stuff will probably end up being is some sort of cosmetic bonus, or maybe a heroic or something like that. Like something that
even if it was like an assortment of really good consumables, that's not so bad, you know?
Yeah, I understand.
But if they're saying like, hey, if you want to be able to make X weapon
through only weekly events,
you have to log in and do it for every day for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I am done. If I want to log in and do that all on a weekend, I should be allowed to do that.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So that mostly comes from the fact that since I'm older than everyone else and I've got this whole career and the kids and stuff, maybe I don't have time to log in every day.
That's fair.
I shouldn't be punished for that.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Like, but like eventually, I think I don't think this is going to be the sort of daily or weekly content that eventually will get eliminated from the game. Like, I don't think that you're going to have like 2 weeks to get this, and then it's going to be like you can't.
No, but like, okay, so here's what happens, and this happens in Final Fantasy too. Like, if you miss one day in those 2 weeks, all of a sudden you're a day behind everyone else, and that compounds as you miss more and more.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden you're way behind everyone else on progression, and you can't catch up.
Well, if it's just end game stuff, though, you're not that far behind in progression. Like, really? Do you think it would be a big issue in end game?
You're still being artificially limited by logging in every day.
We'll see how they work the rewards.
It'll have to be like, it'll be interesting, and you're like, your criticism and like, dude, definitely valid.
That's why we have these talks.
Yeah. I have experience with it, right? I have played so many games with time gating in them, and every time I can't stand it. Every time it just I quit because of it. You
Yeah.
know, with
Yeah.
Guild Wars 2, game plays fantastic, right?
Oh man,
But
I
I get to end
know.
game and I grind my crafting up, and all of a sudden
Yeah.
I'm blocked for 3 weeks from building a piece of gear I want because I have to log in every day and do one daily crafting.
Yeah, like fucking.
No,
You
I'm
have to
done.
build up your karma daily. Every day you have to build up your karma to get those legendary weapons for Guild
Yep.
Wars. The Guild Wars legendary weapons are the biggest time gate in like history.
Really?
Yeah, it
I
literally
got
takes
kind
like
of into
4
Guild
months.
Wars.
It takes like 4 months to actually make 4 months of like daily
Oh
grinding
my
to
god.
get like a legendary weapon in Guild Wars. Probably the
Yeah,
most
it
demanding.
should be demanding, right? Because it's a legendary weapon.
Yeah.
But the problem is if you missed 2 days, you're set back.
Mhm.
You know, it sets you back time. It sets you back on it. You can't like, they won't let you make it
Wow.
up over a weekend or anything like
See,
that. So
I don't like the whole farming thing at all in these types of games. And what I'm more like excited about is like if they do a challenge that you just have to go in one day of the week and like it only happens once a week or whatever, and it's just a really hard challenge and you succeed it one time, then you get whatever the like reward is, and then it's over. You've done it. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that sort of thing. If it's just like a flare every like month, a new flare every month or whatever, new challenge every month,
yeah,
that sort
yeah.
of thing. That's more what I was expecting when I saw like these daily or weekly things. I didn't expect them to be like a sort of farming situation.
Okay.
Which, yeah, sorry, maybe we
So
spent too much
yeah,
time.
we spent a lot of time on it. So we have like another page to go through too. So I'm just gonna cut this off because we don't have a whole lot of information on this yet and what's gonna happen with it and what rewards. So we'll just kind of wait till they come up with a little more information on that.
Yeah.
But towards the end of this, we only really have one little paragraph. To this end, we will be completely resetting progression inventories with the exception of promotional items like packs or partner flares and Dark Harvest rewards, and all other character attributes for every Dauntless player when the Sharpen Your Skills update goes live. To thank everyone who has contributed to this closed beta, players will also receive a unique flare. So, everybody get ready for your reset. And if you've been farming that Rezakiri gear or Shroud gear and you almost maxed it doesn't matter anymore. I'm sorry to say. Max it out if you want, see how it feels. So maybe you know now, like maybe when you come to it, when the reset comes, and you're like, you know what? It really wasn't that worth it. I'm just gonna skip it. Stuff like that. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Whatever keeps you in the game and like keeps you having fun. I mean, the game's still fun regardless of the reset. It's just kind of disheartening a little bit because there's a lot of us who've put a lot of hours into maxing a lot of the stuff in the game, which is it's a shame. But you know what? It is a closed beta. It's to be expected. Like you can't just assume that all this stuff is gonna be rock solid, right? Like it's
We were fairly warned there could be like with big progression changes.
Yeah.
Wipes.
yeah.
And honestly, it'll be fun to do it all again. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see like how the game plays now, because what I'm most excited about and I didn't like about the progression before was like how linear the whole game was, especially the armors and everything. Like you just build your armor and then you dash that armor away for the next armor as soon as
Yeah.
you get to the next like tier
Yeah,
or
yeah.
behemoth
One
or whatever.
thing that I really hope they do is that every armor, every behemoth's armor in a certain tier, I want that armor to go up to the max that a tier 2 armor set can go to. I don't want to be farming the
Yeah.
first armor set in tier 2 and have that be 100 less resistance than the last armor set in tier 2.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Rezakiri and Shroud are both tier 3 behemoths,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they have 500 where the other ones max out at
Like 400
460.
like Firebrand. No,
Yeah.
well, Firebrand is like at 400.
Exactly.
and
Like, what is
tier
that?
3.
And so now at this point in the game, you are limited to, and very much so, because like they have the highest resistance in the game, and they're not only the highest resistance in the game, but they don't have any other weaknesses and strengths other than each other. So if you're fighting any other behemoth in the game, it is totally viable to use
Yeah.
Shroud or Reza sets.
Yeah.
Not even viable. It's optimal.
It's
Yeah.
totally optimal, especially the Shroud set. And that's one thing I really hope they get rid of because there's there's a lot of variation in aspects, and it's a real shame that we are
Yeah.
limited to one
Yeah.
really shitty aspect set. In my opinion, the Rezakiri is not anything to talk about.
Yeah.
But
But
just the
medic is so much fun.
You know what? If
I
it was
guess.
medic, see, this is what I'm excited about in this next patch is if they can like really work like because they're gonna change crafting from what I understand. If they're gonna like unlock the like armors and resistance from the aspects and let you sort of do aspects as a separate thing, something that is like added on to your armors and that you can pick and choose and customize
Yeah.
for the armor set that you're building,
Mm.
man, that'll like total like make the game like unbelievable to
Yeah.
me. Or if even if there's like some sort of like variety of aspects that you can like choose within a armor,
Yeah.
like maybe 4, and then you choose 2 of them and progress up that line or this
Exactly.
line,
Yeah.
like that's way cooler.
I definitely want to see a rework to the aspect system. I feel like either rework the current aspects, because right now the current aspects don't really live up to any set that has Hunger or Fortress. And I don't know if they're going to be taking those.
Hunger and Fortress are just way too strong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
combined.
Yeah,
Holy cow.
they're really good. I don't know if they're too strong. I just like to see other sets come up to plate.
I don't
Yeah.
know. When you can negate ever using a health potion just by using Shroud Armor,
Yeah, I guess that's true.
like you can switch to Rezakiri armor, do the same behemoth, and still have to use a potion, right?
Yeah, that's
But if
true.
you go in there with Shroud Armor, you never have to use a
Well,
potion.
I guess if you get hit like Matt.
Oh shit.
Oh, it hurts my heart.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
No, but you're right. You're right. Yeah, Shroud Armor and those things are like by far the best. Anyways.
And they thank us all. Yeah, they thank us all for putting our input.
Hold on. We missed something.
Did we?
Did we?
Something pretty important. To thank everyone who has contributed to the closed beta, players will also receive a unique flair.
I said it. Yeah, I said it.
Right, but we're not addressing the fact
Yeah,
that they're screwing
okay.
over founders.
Okay, that's a whole nother conversation, but we will just touch on that a slight bit here. So, myself and Matt here are both founders, I believe. Matt, you're a founder, right?
Yep.
I unfortunately didn't play in the closed alpha, but I did purchase an $80 founders pack when closed beta released. And it's kind of a shitty situation for us because one, we both paid $80 and we got one code to give to a friend. And that was cool. That was cool at the time. I was like, cool. I get a free beta code and I get to give it to a friend. And a month and a half later, Phoenix Labs starts giving out packs of codes. Like they give people who haven't paid anything to the game. All they did was sign up for the Dauntless beta. They signed up, they registered on the site, and these guys are getting 3 or 4 beta codes, 1 for them and 3 for their friends, and they haven't paid a thing. So one, it's like the founders kind of got screwed, and 2, why aren't the founders getting more beta codes?
Even like more than that. So like the only thing you guys are coming out of this ahead of everyone else with is that you have this buff that lets you get like vanity items, right?
This buff
But
is
now
going to be like
with this
patron and champion and Silent Hunter.
So, but with this update now, all the time that you've like put in and like all the vanity items you've collected are all going to be gone.
Yeah.
Like
exactly. And
so
we don't know if
you're,
those
like,
buffs are going to
literally
go
getting
to the
nothing.
next they are going to go after the reset. We don't even know if those buffs are going to be applied to the new reset because
they are. No, they are. They actually said they're restarting.
Yeah, they're gonna be restarting the buffs. And Trash has said some stuff about how like reimbursing everybody with something of equal value or whatever.
Okay.
To make you guys not
but that's
feel
like
too
the
bad.
closed beta flare, and everybody's getting that, not just founders.
Yeah, the closed beta flare, and let's not even get into how shitty the founders stuff is. The only thing cool of the founders stuff is the banner plant. I will admit the banner plant is really cool, but in my opinion, it's not worth what it should be worth.
Yeah.
But yeah. I bet you any money anybody who's played Dauntless and isn't a founder doesn't even have any idea what the founder's banner sigil looks like or the founder flare looks like.
You know why? Because we don't use it.
No founder uses it because it looks like a bag of deuce.
Like it's not even as good as the generic no flare. That's
I personally prefer the Ramsgate
I like
flare
no
over it.
flare. I like
exactly.
I like the one that just peters out in the air.
Yeah.
Doesn't really do
All right, let's get into the
body
next
look.
page before I get too
Okay.
heated. Okay, as the long moonlit night of the dark harvest gives way to day, we're looking forward to what's next with Dauntless.
Yeah, this is the right one.
We've released patches on a consistent cadence to date, updating the game with bug fixes and improvements every other week. We've used these incremental updates not only to advance the game, but also to gather your feedback and learn more about what excites and engages Slayers just like you. We will be stepping back from these frequent stability updates to go heads down, channeling our focus and energy into a major update that will incorporate player feedback and change the way that you play Dauntless. Make no mistake, Slayers, December's Sharpen Your Skills update means big changes are coming. We are committed to a transparent and productive relationship between community and development. See our post on the Dauntless roadmap. They haven't updated that Dauntless roadmap since like September 15th, so let's just put that out there. So while we won't be rolling out patches out our prior cadence, we will be providing you with the weekly updates and previews of what's to come when Sharpen Your Skills update. Here's what you can look forward to previewing in the coming weeks. Oh, okay, so this isn't really content; it's just kind of mapping out the next couple weeks. So
they're just talking about their change in mentality.
So we'll just be expecting progression update, which was today, brand new weapon preview, which I'm pretty sure we all know what it is, unless they decide to do a little twist on it and whip out something else. Yeah, last minute, just like, oh, we were working on 2 weapons, but we decided to finish up this one since we accidentally released leaked the other one. So if it is what we believe, you can expect a mortar spear. So let your imagination wrap around that. We'll be getting 2 new behemoth reveals, and let me see if I can just get the names of them real quick. The behemoth reveals are Karabakh and Skarn.
Skarn is the one we looked at previously.
Yeah, Skarn is the one that we looked at, yeah. And equipment augmentation system that will change the way you play and craft. So that's all for the little talk show, guys.
Hey, wait, before you stop.
Yeah, I'm not gonna just like for the update part. Now we're gonna discourse.
When I read that actually like last time, I thought that this second page had more information in it.
Yeah, me too.
As you're reading through that, it's like literally just conclusion.
Yeah.
And they're just like, okay, so you guys are used to us doing more frequent patches, but the patches are going to slow down because we're working on big changes, and we want to try to get more content per patch, which kind of makes sense considering that their current pacing and their current releases have been less than stellar. Yeah, so they're switching it up. So you got to commend them for being like, okay, this isn't working as well as we wanted it to. We're gonna have to step back and change our behavior.
Yeah, what was bothering me, especially with the way that they were changing hammer, like every week was like a change.
Yeah.
Was that like, people were complaining before they got a chance to actually get used to how
there's always that period, like a week, where people are just like fucking bashing the weapon, and like you see it in Warframe all the time on the forums, and then they just let it dissipate, and in the end people are like, oh
well, I guess it wasn't so bad after.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually not that OP.
Yeah.
Or stuff like that. It's just because people don't know how to handle this shit. They're like,
yeah. So I think more time to deal with these changes and stuff is going to be definitely an improvement, because they couldn't get like sane feedback from, like, especially the hammer community was all over the place. One day people would be freaking out, the next day they'd be like, oh well, maybe it's okay.
Yeah.
It well, and then we're also not going to see things that we love about the hammer getting nerfed so quickly either, because it's too OP.
Yeah.
Right.
But at the same time, you definitely do need that grace period for the community to just talk it over, play with it for like a week, like for more than a week, like for a while, before you notice like some substantial changes need to be made.
Yeah, but hold on. Part of evaluating changes too, also, like, as a community is that we get on the forums and we complain about it and we discuss
100%.
it with each
Yeah,
other.
100%.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
like,
we talk.
those complaints aren't just for the devs; they're also the community hashing out their ideas
Yeah.
back and forth.
Exactly.
Yeah, those like the people freaking out like in the Hammer forums was actually really useful for all of us
100%.
to like talk to get the conversation going.
That's
right?
the only way us gamers know how to like criticize.
Yeah.
We just like lash out and throw our
Freaking
hands in the air,
out.
right?
In the world.
It's just fucking
Yeah.
bullshit. I loved my spam hammer. My
So
spammer.
Still spam hammer.
enhancement to damage systems. That's interesting. Maybe they're gonna have finally gonna give some love to the sword. That's I don't know. I can't imagine any other damage system that really. I guess we all need like more internal balance inside of our weapons. Like
Well, let's get better elemental balance going for once. Like, let's get those fully
Yeah.
implemented because only fire has been the ideal one for such a
Yeah,
long time.
fire. Well, Hellion weapons are just monstrous in fucking in anything. They just absolutely.
Yeah.
We actually had one of the community members of the Stay Grease Discord actually did a lot of research that I actually haven't told anybody about yet, but I will do it now. Mario, there's many of you know him, Mario13366, I believe his name is, and he actually did some work.
Biggest troll in the community.
He great dude, but he actually went to work with Hellion and Shroud weapons to figure out which ones were optimal damage. Here, let me actually pull up the Discord. He sent me a ton of information. And yeah, he was like slaving away on this. He actually found out that Rogue Nasher actually has 10,000 health through
Okay.
he was looking through data mining stuff, and I think when you go into a 4-man party, you're literally doubling the health of the behemoth.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that
it's
makes
not like
sense.
quadrupling it. Yeah, you're just doubling it.
Only doubling it? Is it 4
It's-
men? Where does it hit that double point? Is it
4
double
men.
Yeah,
It's
it
4
is.
men.
with 2?
4
So what
men is when
happens
you
with 2
double it.
and 3?
So 2 would be like
I
133%.
don't think he
health, and then
mentioned that.
3
There's a
is-
lot of stuff here. It's hard to read through.
that was tested like a while back. People who did data mining like found out that it was like a 33% health increase per extra person.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was the guy that was peeking at the memory, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? But yeah, he broke down a lot of stuff. I might just get into freaking summarize it out. Well, I unfortunately I don't think it's going to be relevant anymore because I feel like they're going to be
With
making
the
enough changes
yeah.
that his work will unfortunately be gone forever.
Equipment augmentation system.
But
But
yeah,
basically Hellion weapons.
Hellion
Like,
weapons,
most OP.
they were the most OP. He was trying to figure out if the Hellion weapons were better than Shroud and Reser weapons against each other. And conclusive, it was not. But the Hellion weapon is definitely better, even against its own resistance, because of how low of a level the next like ice weapon is. Like if you let's say there's an Charog who is weak to fire, but or weak to ice, but strong against fire. The next ice weapon is like Winterhorn or Pangar, which maxes at like 390.
Yep.
And so like at that point, your Hellion weapon is still going to be better than those ice weapons on those behemoths, which is another reason why everything in tier 3 should go to 500 or 460. Not these like increments. The increments are so stupid, and it just makes these limitations that just really shouldn't be there.
Did he test Shroud and Reza weapons versus Hellion weapons versus non-Shroud and Reza?
Yeah, and it was like the Hellion weapon beat them every single time. I actually did a little bit of a test on Rogue Nasher. It took me 11 3-charge Y attacks with the axe to kill a Rogue Nasher with the Hellion axe, and it took 14 3-charge Y attacks with the Shroud axe.
So yeah, that actually makes sense because I was testing it with the hammer on Nezaga as well because I use his pylons for testing the individual attacks a lot.
Yeah.
And the fire hammer, you could do one jump slam on the pylon and walk away from it, and the dot would kill it in like a second or two. Whereas if you had a Shroud or Reza, You'd have to do a jump slam and then a hit for you to break.
I think that they have that Nezaga though has like a weakness to fire though, doesn't he?
No, he's Frost.
He's weak to frost.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
sure it's
Yeah,
fire.
well,
Are you sure?
Is it?
I think it's fire.
No, not anymore.
okay. Well, if it's a weakness to frost, then yeah. Well, like the problem is that Radiant and Umbral right now don't have any sort of like
Association with
elemental
anything
effect.
else.
They have no like effect.
Yeah, they
And
don't. Yeah.
There's no dot on them. There's no like
Do you think they're
snowball
gonna?
that you can put on behemoth with it or anything. So
Sorry, Skeekster. And the talk shows, like we'll have like a discourse at the end of the talk show to take comments. But yeah, you're right. That needs to be like everything needs to be at that same tier or to be maxed at the same level, so that you can use a variety of different weapons in any situation. So you're not limited to a fire weapon on a behemoth that is weak to ice. Sorry, Molly, go on.
yeah. No, I was finished.
Okay. All right. If are we content? I think that was a good one.
Yeah, I'm good.
I think we covered all the information there.
Oh wait. Here it says at the very end of those 4 bullet points,
Okay.
an equipment augmentation system.
Oh yeah, I think that's just saying that how
what?
they're
The new way to upgrade your armor. I
yeah,
think is what that means.
and like what we were talking about earlier about how the how there might be tier wide, like the air through cores are going to be like tier wide resources rather than like resources specific to each.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just so many ways that you can read all this stuff. They don't
Yeah.
give very much information, really.
No, that's like, but as they said, like this is just kind of like the tip of the iceberg in terms of the updates of this sharpen your skills update. So as the weeks go on, we'll be able to get more in depth with the certain aspects, as we have like this little breakdown there of the brand new weapon, the 2 behemoth types, and the equipment augmentation. So in the next few weeks, we'll be able to do a little more in-depth talk shows with each one of those aspects. If anybody has any questions, now is the time, and I will give you, I don't know, if there's no questions, we might just get into playing the game again.
I gotta say one thing, that equipment augmentation system makes it sound like we're gonna be able to actually like put different pieces,
Yeah,
different things under our weapons to modify them in some sense.
well, like specifically the word augment has been like in more than one
But yeah,
RPG before, like something
to
like
change.
an add-on to a weapon, right?
So like imagine if you get your base weapon from hunting all the behemoths in the patrol, right? And then you go and you kill Hellion, right? To get a specific piece, and that specific piece allows you to augment your base weapon to be a fire elemental weapon.
Exactly. That would be like for like those like Sentinel weapon or the Arcanite weapons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That would be sweet.
Yeah, like augments even come across a little bit as like socketables, and that's something that a lot of people were talking about for a while.
I don't know how that would work so well because like obviously each behemoth, well, most of the behemoths have an element to them.
Yeah.
So like how you can't it would be conflicting to add like dual elements to like a fire and ice axe, or, you know what I mean?
But let's say like the socketable just contains like an whatever those things are called, aspect.
Yeah, aspects.
So that's how the aspects.
Or maybe they come up with weapon aspects that are totally socketable. Like no weapons actually come with aspects, and they just have like
that.
Like
that would be too cool.
That would be cool. Anyway.
Now we're like just.
Yeah, now we're just like rambling on, but this is the discourse, so it's fine. It's fine.
We do. Chromatics here. We do also have a question too. We actually got one.
Will they add a PvP arena just for more content? Honestly, Skeekster, I don't think this game will ever be PvP.
The devs have stated they're not really keen on player versus player stuff. They more like people speed running against each other and competing against each other.
Yeah, it's just like I feel like this game is more about the co-op aspect and working well as a team rather than killing each other.
Yeah, or like Barry and Haydeath have going back and forth, which
Yeah.
is their speed runs.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't.
They won't give us a timer back, so maybe they're not promoting that.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? I could totally see like a little like if they ever did want to add some kind of PvP in the game, which is like they could definitely manage it. It would be more like arcadey like training arena type thing, where it'd be like
Yeah.
testing your skills on like other slayers. It wouldn't be like a killing each other type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could see them adding that.
That does also bring up the issue of weapon balance, and then all of a sudden you're going to have people complaining about balance against weapons, like
Mhm.
against other
Yeah,
weapons.
so
And
like
that's going to cause changes that are going to ruin some weapons to make other ones balanced. And,
but
yeah,
that
it's
could
a whole
also
bag
be
of
like
worms.
that could also be like totally separate to the PvE aspect, like they do in Warframe.
I mean, not really.
No, but
Like look at how Hammer works, right? Hammer's like main attack is the leap slam right now.
yeah,
That gives him, like insane mobility and a huge hitting attack.
yeah,
That's going to be harder to hit for every other weapon. Like try that against Axe. Axe isn't going to stand a chance against Hammer, and that's fundamental to the weapon.
So
Yeah.
there's the actual post. I sent it to you, Stay Grease, on Discord.
Okay.
That what the latest thing I've seen that he said specifically about PvP. It says that PvP is not currently in the works, and if we were to ever add it, it would be quite some time. There have been a lot of interesting community ideas about it, though. Exclamation mark. You see that?
Yeah,
That's
it
that's
would
on
be
this.
it would be interesting. It would be an
interesting.
interesting
Actually,
aspect.
I typed in like PvP on the forums. There's been like so much talk about it, like arenas and different
Yeah.
things like that. So
I don't know. It would be really hard to balance it, and I would definitely hope
See-
that they balance it separately to PvE, because
Yeah,
PvE should be on its own.
Personally, I've always been so huge into PvP in like games like this. Like, so I would be so excited about
Yeah.
if
I mean,
that was implemented.
we'll see.
But I understand.
Yeah.
You know, like
We'll see.
it's like
I think a little battle arena to kind of like test your might against your friends, like something like not so
Well,
seriously taken, something more casual, like
Yeah.
arcadey. I feel like
Even-
would be cool.
As
Even
long
if
as
it
it doesn't get
was-
turned into like a huge competitive scene and start
Exactly.
ruining
Yeah.
weapons. Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah,
if
so-
it's like
so-
It'd be like
implemented,
arm wrestling from Monster Hunter, which apparently is like a huge deal. Like I'm not a
So-
Monster Hunter vet, but I've seen people talking about it like crazy.
yeah,
what some people suggested to me a while back was, for example, like a race sort of like, so there's two sets of teams on one island. You both have to go and kill your behemoth, or the behemoth that's been sort of like allotted to your team, and you can see the other team on the island at the same time, and you're sort of like racing to like against the other team to try and defeat the behemoth first,
that would be cool.
or something like that, because then it's still PVE.
Yeah,
but
it's just like a race to the
there's like
finish
that.
line. That would be
Yeah,
cool.
right.
I could
let's
see
get
that
some
being
bar
pretty cool.
games in there too. Like you can go play
Oh
darts.
yeah, I want that,
and you
man.
can have drunken brawls.
Oh
Dude.
Yeah.
Drunken brawls would be awesome.
God.
Yeah, that would
God.
be so jokes. Drunken brawls. Imagine just go like
Okay,
to the
drunken
bar.
brawls would be pretty cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
just
drunken
like get
brawls.
absolutely loaded, and then you go into like
Yeah.
this like matchmaking. Find someone who's sorry, currently finding someone as drunk as you.
Yeah, and like no, it's gotta be like it's gotta take place in the town, like in
Yeah.
the tavern. That way
Yeah.
everyone standing around can watch
Yeah,
and
in-
place bets.
In
Yeah.
that circle where the big ram is.
I'm-
Jeez, you
I
get
bet-
like let out to the circle.
I'm putting
And you gotta
1,300
be, like, your
resin
character has to
traces
be,
on
like,
that.
almost impossible to control too.
Yeah,
Like, it's gotta be like the most ridiculous thing to control.
yeah, but you know people are just gonna get OP at it.
Right,
Yeah,
it'd be
but whatever.
hilarious.
Like it's gonna be so like
Yeah, no, it's
like
gonna be jokes.
frivolous and like
Yeah.
for fun anyways. So it's like in Guild Wars there's that like Hunger Games game, like a PvP game that you can hop into. I'm not sure if you guys ever got into that in Guild Wars 2.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it's like this where you just go, you get dropped into this like to this island, and then you have to sort of like pick up weapons, and it's PvP, and you run around and you scavenge like arrows and stuff, and you have to kill like the other players, and be the last one to be living, and then you win. It's like
Sorry,
it's
did we
just
start
like,
talking about PUBG?
Yeah.
No, it's like essentially PUBG, right? But
I think we have enough battle royale games right now.
yeah, but what I'm saying is that like those like sort of
Yeah.
frivolous like add-on things can be like really goofy and fun. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
At
they
the
add a
same
lot to the
time-
community. Like they really infuse a lot to the community.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, you know what'd be cool? Actually, I just totally like what would be really cool is like a bird-only island. And what happens is that there's like however many people on this island. Let's say there's let's say there's 8 people on this island. And you gotta just keep killing waves of bird behemoths until there's no one left.
Oh man, like like time trials. Or
Yeah,
something.
just like you kill a scrave and then like 2 shrikes come out of nowhere. And then you kill
Yeah, that'd
those,
be good
two,
one.
3 winter horns.
but you
show up.
can't res anybody. Like everybody only has one life. No potions, maybe. I don't know. Like
I think
That'd be
that
fun.
like yeah, things like that, things where you have to like get the highest like score in matches or like where you get the fastest time and they
Yeah.
have like a Hall of Fame or like whatever, like the records are all leaderboards, yeah. Those kinds of things are a really good way to I think implement like PvP into the game.
Yeah.
All right.
Because that is PvP, right?
Yeah.
There's actually one thing I want to touch on real quick that I saw on Discord earlier that Crash said,
Okay.
and he implied that Jerry the Town Drunk was going away.
Why? Because it was offensive?
I don't know if it was jokes. I don't know if
No.
he's being serious, but
If-
he definitely said like Jerry the Town Drunk. He didn't say Jerry the Town Drunk because that's our name for him.
Yeah.
He's like,
If any of you
"Town
guys don't
Drunk
know who
is-
Jerry the
is
Town Drunk is, I
going
have
to
a
go
little
away."
clip on my channel. I think it might be a highlight actually, and it's titled Jerry the Town Drunk. If you haven't seen him, I definitely recommend you check that guy out because he is hilarious. But yeah,
Yeah, so I'm really. We might have to start like a Save Jerry
What
petition.
was the reason?
that
He
might
didn't
be
say, and I
offensive.
don't know if he was being serious, but he definitely mentioned it. He's like,
I could definitely see people getting
So-
offended from that because like what people don't get offended
Oh,
by.
you think offended?
I don't know. People get
Really?
offended
Maybe
by
that-
everything nowadays, man.
See,
I would be surprised.
I suggested a long time ago that there be like that he be like an actual like NPC that you interact with, and he's like an I took an arrow to the knee, and now I can't fight anymore. Drunk at the bar every day, and now I'm like drowning away my sorrows or whatever. And what you have to do is you have to go on a quest to like harvest I don't know like some sort of like medicine or whatever for him, and then he's like recovered. And he's not drunk anymore. Maybe it's something like that to get rid of him being drunk.
I don't know.
I don't want him to go away. He's
I don't want him to go away.
Like
He's
Vincent,
iconic.
He's a permanent fixture.
He's like Borman.
He is iconic
He's like
right
Borman,
now, right?
man. Hack slash stab smash. If you had a fucking line,
Just, like,
it'd be like
smash,
it'd be like
smash.
chug 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 smash.
Yeah, right. It makes
All right, the quarterback.
Yo, imagine like he's the one that if you like help him out, he's the one who sets up the drunken brawls in the town that we were just
Yeah,
talking about.
man. Oh my god, Jerry.
Jerry.
Oh, we need to start a petition, guys. We need to start a petition bringing
Jerry's drunken brawl.
Jerry drunken brawls.
Can we do that through change.org?
Yeah, can we? Oh my god, let's do it, 100%, and we'll link it to the we'll link it to the Reddit and everything. Oh my god, that'd be jokes.
Okay, yeah. Anyways,
all right, guys. I think that's enough for the talk show. I think we've discoursed for long enough, and I think we can save whatever we're going to discourse either for the stream, the rest of the stream, or for the next talk show, whenever the next update's going to be. Is that cool with everybody? Why does Geekster keep... Oh. Okay. Anyway.
I tried to untime out him. Oh, but I think yeah, okay, I think I got him. Yeah. I'm trying my mod powers out, but it's not working so well.
Just timed him out. All right.
I timed him out, but then I undid the timeout, so I think it released him.
All right, you guys.